Good day everyone and welcome back to another tipping video on the channel, and let's get straight into it. Last week I did terribly. I only got 3 out of 9, so that was not good at all. But by the way, 0.3% of you guys watching are subscribed. That is just a very low number, so let's hope we can get that number higher. But anyway, let's begin the round 3 tips. Alright, first game of round 3, Bulldogs versus Brisbane. I really thought Bulldogs were going to bounce back against St Kilda, however they just played like absolute crap. They really put together a horror show. And Brisbane, I should have seen that coming. They were obviously going to bounce back, and I just got that completely wrong. I reckon I am going to go safe, and I reckon Brisbane will get the job done by 16 points, but Bulldogs will do a bit better than what they have been doing. Collingwood versus Richmond at the MCG, a very tough game to tip. Both teams are looking alright. Adelaide's inaccuracy made Richmond probably win by a bit more than what they actually should have, but Collingwood again, they were terrific against Port Adelaide. I am going to back in the Pies. I reckon their pressure will be too strong for Richmond, and they'll get the job done by 15 points. And then at York Park, Hawthorn versus North Melbourne. I'm sensing Hawthorn could win this game. I reckon North Melbourne could get a bit cocky and Hawthorn will be desperate for a win. This is their probably opportunity to win the game. However, I am going to go safe. Normally teams who do go to Perth always play bad enough flat the next week. That's just how it works. But I am going to go safe despite all those reasons. And I reckon North Melbourne will win by 17 points. And then at Sydney, Showground Giants versus Carlton. Giants very disappointing. They could have gone 2-0, but they just couldn't pull together a good performance against West Coast. And Carlton, on the other hand, were pretty good against Geelong and managed to hang on and win by 8 points. I am going to go with the safe tip here. I'm going to say Carlton will win this game by 29 points. I reckon Giants will put up an okay fight. St Kilda versus Essendon. Jeez. Both teams that have started the season excellent. In particular St Kilda though, I reckon the way they've been playing, they really shut other teams' forward lines down and kept both teams to a low score. So I reckon St Kilda will be very hard to beat, and I am going to back them in. I reckon St Kilda will win this game by 8 points. And then Port Adelaide versus Adelaide, the showdown. Gosh, who on earth do I tip here? You know what, I'm going to go for an upset here. I'm going to go for the Crows. I backed them in last week, they didn't get it. But I reckon they're going to pinch this one by 5 points in an absolute thriller, similar to how they beat them last year. Gold Coast versus Geelong. Whoever loses this game will be 0-3 and will have a hard chance to make finals. I reckon it's different for Geelong, they'll probably still make finals, but for Gold Coast, this is basically do or die. It's hard to go past the Cats though, as much as I want Gold Coast to win. I reckon Geelong will be too good and win this game by 30 points. And then I will be attending this game, Melbourne versus Sydney at the MCG. Melbourne definitely looking to bounce back over their loss against Brisbane Swans. An awesome win against Hawthorn. They just played exactly how they should have. But again, it's against Hawthorn, so this will definitely be a tougher opponent. Hopefully it doesn't catch them off guard. But I'm going to back in my beloved Swans, and I reckon they'll be too good and win by 22 points. Then the final game of round 1, Fremantle versus West Coast. Another derby or whatever you want to call it. 2 derbies in 1 round, pretty good. Fremantle, geez, losing to North Melbourne by 1 point. They were coming late. Should have that been deliberate? I don't know. It was a very close, tight call. And West Coast, what a win they had over Giants. They really played well and kind of looked like the old West Coast team at times. They put pressure on Giants and they made them crumble, and it was a really good performance. It's a tough game here, but I think I have to back in Fremantle just because they really need to win a game of bloody footy. Otherwise, you can just about write off finals, to be honest, at this point. But I reckon Fremantle will win this game by 10 points. And there you go guys, those are my ladder predictions of round 3. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a big fat thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.